Hello! Everybody, welcome to the Crapshoot,
Yeah.
where today I'm here and I'm James.
I'm here and I'm Beach.
And I'm here and I'm Kathleen. And Cameron is not here, but he's still Cameron and he is coming.
Oh, look at that timing though.
Yeah.
Look at that timing.
You might even been able to hear that.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello!
It's fine. Traffic is kind of bad a lot of the time now because there's a lot of construction going on in Victoria, which I realize is constant. But frequently Cameron sort of gets the butt end of it based on where he's coming in from town. Hi, Cameron.
It's a Cameron. Cool. All right.
I value the time of my coworkers.
All right, so.
You were like a minute late.
Oh, well.
It's totally fine.
Yeah. So, we are here today to write some crap shots.
Yeah.
I think we're going to aim for 3, be happy with 2,
Are we all on camera?
be disappointed at 1.
Okay.
Jack, you guys can even scoot a little bit over towards me.
I live for disappointment.
All right. We haven't done a rating crapshoot for a while. But I was thinking we should all just brainstorm out and just throw out some random ideas that could work as seeds, and then we can go back and discuss them and be like, that caught my eye, right? So,
And the idea is what we're writing today, we will be filming tomorrow.
Okay.
So these don't need to be
Local to the moon base.
local to the moon base, which is nice.
and apparently it's not supposed to rain tomorrow.
Oh,
So we could go outside.
The crap shot that I watched most recently was Bumming Ditterist, if you remember that one.
Right.
I don't.
They were starting a
It
death
was our
band.
metal band.
Yeah, and there was
Ian
some.
and I's
There's some. Was it kerning issues?
Yeah, it was kerning issues, and yeah. I really enjoyed people trying to figure out what the band's actual name was.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm still really proud of the album title Hyacinth Blooming.
Yeah, that was
Right?
good.
I feel like we're a doom metal band, actually.
Yeah.
You know, with a reference to the Wasteland in there. Mm-hmm. But I really want to know where to go with that afterwards, because I think that's a vibrant world with Ross. Ross, the lead singer.
Oh God. Right, you in the long wig.
Yeah. Although maybe Bumming Ditterist could do a genre switch into like more of a the shoegaze metal with Death Heaven.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, Death Heaven got a lot of like attention on Pitchfork, and we feel that we have the legs to the genre flexibility to expand into this market. So we're gonna look, instead of moving from like, what did we call it? What was the font? Something New Roman.
I have
Golgoroth New Roman. Into like, because Helvetica was a Middle Age name for Switzerland.
Really?
Yeah. So we would need like, what was the? This is a real, probably impenetrable joke, but like Danzig, because that's an area of Germany, right?
Well, also like changing the font to Danzig is like, because Golgoroth is another metal band.
Yes.
So like it's actually like really like it's very clean.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, because Death Heaven has that, like, if you look at the album cover for Sunbather, it's like, this yellow to pink kind of gradient with just like this very minimal font, spelling, in 3-letter blocks. Or 4-letter blocks. But anyway, I just thought that crap shot had a lot of like space in it. But music crap shots are hard.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have the genre savvy.
No, and also this is unrelated, but I was putting together one of my weekly playlists last night, and I was like, just clicking on a Pitchfork review, and I was like, I don't know who this is. I'm gonna read it. I read it, and I was like, it piques my interest to the minimal qualification, which is. Yeah, right? Like, it's I don't have to put a lot of investment to listen to 30 seconds of a song. And I listened to the song, I was like, oh, that is very good. And to put that on my playlist. And the Pitchfork review classified it as R&B pop, which I'm like, that's right up my alley. And then I put it into iTunes, and it was like, yes, hip-hop rap. And I'm like, those are different.
Yeah, those are very
So
different things.
genre is nobody can agree on genre, but it's important.
No, yeah, it's one of the things that people have very passionate arguments about, and I have no idea what
It
music
literally
I
makes
listen
me
to.
want to pull my teeth out.
Yeah,
I mean, genres are also you have the the fractal, no matter depending on how deep you want to go, there's all new genres and being invented all the time that are often just like one band.
well, yeah, like I enjoy playing with genre a little bit as a way of like getting a handle on things. Like, you know what? I think I'm going to call Stellaris an idle game now. It's basically a clicker game, only instead of grandmas, you have battleships.
Fair.
We've done a Crapshoot where you and I are discussing increasingly.
Yes.
Arcane genres.
Arcade genres, yeah.
It's good.
Alien Isolation's a first-person puzzle game.
I do like somebody in the chat was talking about during the Villainous AFK stream we did. We were talking about how we now have the notification thing for the store. And the idea of that notification thing is actually like somehow tied directly to something that like wakes Beej up and tells him and gets him to go do a thing.
I have to go print a shirt.
Yeah. Like, all right. And like goes over to like a little printing
What
thing.
if?
A little like screen
Oh,
printer.
yeah.
We have them on BOD, which is Beach on Demand.
Oh, I like that.
What if, like, you get woken up at 3 a.m. in the morning and you have to go to a sewing machine and start, like,
Yeah,
making a
yeah,
shirt?
that's actually
Yes,
not
that's
bad.
really good. It's like, oh, well, Ben said something again. Deej, we're going to need 400 t-shirts.
No, I like the idea that he just has to, like, he gets pinged and then just goes and makes one.
Yeah.
And then goes
Yeah.
back to sleep. And then gets pinged again and has to go make another one.
That could be, and that could be told through like 3 to 4 second like montagey cuts where it's like, I've got like a piece of fabric, then it's like a shot of like a cut, then a shot of a sew, then a shot of like something else, and then it's
Painting
like
on the logo.
yeah, painting, like looking like I'm painting a thing, and then all of a sudden it's like finished shirt. It's like great, and then that's like that goes in. Like I put like a piece of paper on
Put
it.
a
and
piece
it's
of
like,
paper on it, you're like, finally, you go back to see, and you're like, oh, finally, and then it's like, oh, order
goes off.
canceled.
Yeah, order canceled. Oh shit! Oh shit! Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like laying out the paper pattern, pinning it to the board.
Yeah.
What's the, how do we set this up? Because there needs to be, like, rather than, it can't just go into this, right? Like, there needs
I mean,
to be.
it could be just like a shot from Studio A of somebody saying something.
Yeah, like we're basically being like, yeah, and if you're on the store and we're out of something, just put your email address in. We've got our shirts on BOD. That's Beach on Demand. And then
It's a new system we're calling Bijan
And then-
Demand.
and then somebody goes, how does that work? And then just goes to
And then
cuts.
cuts to you being woken up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, with jaunty music over it,
Yeah,
too.
I think that could work.
Okay.
Like a montage of you just looking wrecked. And then you bring it in, and you're like, the shirt is finished. And you like sort of collapse. And like, I realize this is somewhat filmed at the office, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Just the beginning needs to. The rest could be filmed at somebody's house.
yeah.
Like-
How do we show order being canceled?
It just basically, I go back to bed and then my phone buzzes again.
Buzzes
and I pick it
again.
up and it just says order canceled.
Yeah.
I really want for Beej being woken up to have us pulling a tray, not out of, you're not woken out of bed. We pull a tray off the shelf
Yeah.
and green screen you into it somehow. Like there's just your head being like, ugh, and you wake up.
What if I was like you're not talking about like a morgue tray, obviously.
No,
You're talking
no, no.
about like you pull something
One
off
of
the
those
shelf.
Rubbermaids.
Yeah.
Like you're neatly stored in it.
I wonder if we could do that actually on the shelves in the.
It's so weird.
In
Yeah.
in the other room. Is that I have a thing there, or I mean, we could just film it on the bed that's in there too. But
Yeah, I kind of like you
I need
just.
a place
I
to
kind of like
sew.
him sleeping as opposed to.
Because the thing
I feel like
is-
that adds a level of weirdness that is distracting.
Well, here is.
No, I'm not saying weirdness is bad, but it's weirdness that's not the weirdness that we're talking about.
Yeah, because here's my thought about that. The thought of Beige being a being that we store in the shelves as some sort of t-shirt slave for us sort of lends one kind of pathos, but I think another kind of pathos comes from having Beige, a human, being woken up out of a dead sleep at 2 a.m.
In my own
Right.
house.
fucking sew a t-shirt, which is then basically just to be thrown in the trash. Right? So we have to decide, like, I'm not saying either is better, but I think we'd have to decide which way it goes.
And it gets printed.
Kathleen, strong opinions about writing, DeVere.
E-O-D.
Did you know I added up all the notes for my campaign that I've written so far? And it's about, well, yesterday it was about
Actually,
8,000
don't you mean
words, but I've
POD?
done more work since then.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to having written my first novel by the time this is over.
Yeah, well, like, even something like 2 session like Burning Bright, I had like 8 to 10 pages of notes.
Yeah.
And then
so
cut to Beige in bed.
yeah.
Beige's phone goes off. Or buzzes, probably just easier. Damn it. Beige's phone buzzes. So we have to have a graphic on the phone that says like one shirt or something like that. Or maybe I just pick it up and I look at it.
I think you can just pick it up and look
look
at
at
it
it.
and then start getting to work. I think
Yeah,
it's
I
sort of
th-
implied that
think
that's what's happening.
in my
Like we've
head,
already
I
said, Beige on demand. So
Yeah.
I see it as you being like, "Ugh, ugh. Bullet sponge, 2XL, right?
Yeah.
And you sort of like scrabble out of bed, right?
Although that does give me an idea for another Cameron and Kathleen discuss genres.
Oh,
Which
really?
is like, now that we're DMing, you know, what kind of campaign do you think we should run or should be on? What are you working on right now? I was working on something dark fantasy. Well, I'm, you know,
I'm working on it. Yeah, I'm also doing dark fantasy, but what if you took all the darkness and fantasy out of it? I'd
Yeah.
call it light reality.
it's like I'm working on a near future dystopian science fiction campaign, but it's singularly populated by people who look like Patrick Swayze. I'm calling it Cyberhunk.
Oh my god.
This is a fabric.
That's incredible.
Beige cuts fabric.
Yeah, Beige makes a cut in fabric.
Like, who are the great hunks of our yesteryears?
I mean, Swayze's a good
Swayze
Yeah,
is like, is he the
it's
touchstone
Swayze-
hunk?
Swayze punk.
Yeah.
I did actually read an article, like a legit article the other day, about like, I think they were calling it like hope punk. As, like,
I think
trying
it's a
to-
Sharpie. not
Trying to
even-
make that a thing, which is basically the idea being
Like I think
that it's
all of this is
stories
unrelated to the
that are
actual shirt,
not.
Oh, okay.
right? Like it doesn't have to
That are-
look like the shirt.
like,
yeah.
it's just
not
at the end
depressing.
you're just like, and
I,
perfect bullet
I
because
read
we
like
have
a
one.
counterpoint. I think it was probably about the same article where
Yeah,
somebody is
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
all dystopian fiction is inherently hopeful.
Yeah,
Right,
the premise seemed highly questioned. It's just like I think that's just a story that isn't a bummer, which
Yeah.
you can make without
I
like
would-
the idea that it has to be like a separate thing.
I would argue that most stories actually require themselves not to be bummers. Otherwise, what's the freaking point?
Not necessarily at all. There's lots of depressing stories out there.
Okay, but you know what I mean. But like most stories with some kind of narrative arc have some sort of thing happen that is then resolved, right?
Yeah, but it could be resolved in a bad way.
Many of
Is
them
there
are,
something
but
better?
most,
Tragedies happen.
Rather than
Most
just
of them
order
aren't.
cancel, like what about another?
Right?
What else do we sell?
Uh,
Mugs, pins,
pins.
dice bags.
oh my god, it's too bad. It's
play
like
mats?
it was an
Playmats.
error. That's supposed to be a mug, and you're like, you pull out like a potter's wheel.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
That's
yeah, 'cause, like,
very hard to do, though.
I was thinking like because I was thinking like pin. It's just like maybe there's like metal working, so you like
have to solder some shit.
You just pull on your welding goggles or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, because you cast pins, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure how they're made.
Yeah, I don't know how they're made.
Maybe it's like order canceled. It was supposed to be a pin. Heather, where's the slag?
I need I need flux.
Yeah.
I think it works with just like the T-shirt, but
well, just sort of the like. Yeah, does it? Yeah, and
like it's a T-shirt is sort of the most like iconic
Order canceled. I just tear up the shirt.
merchandise stuff.
That would be really funny if it was order canceled and I just reach down and grab the shirt and just tear it in half. We have to put some strategic cuts in it. But.
I feel like, is it funnier that if as you're looking lovingly and exhaustedly at the product of your hard labor, as like now the sun is coming up, Order canceled, like you haven't even gotten back to bed yet.
Yeah, that could be good too.
Right? I don't know if it's funnier that you finally got back to sleep and you get interrupted again.
I mean, yeah, like, because the easiest joke there is just, and done, shot of Beach getting back into bed, closing eyes, beat for just half a second, phone buzzes again. It doesn't even matter what's on his phone.
Oh, that's true.
It's just a constant, like, we've just basically put Beach in a constant state of you're making
Of
something.
misery.
It doesn't matter what happens. It's
And,
just,
and the
That's
idea
true.
that he's the sort of the Sisyphean task of just kind of making one.
yeah,
one
one
at a
thing
time.
at a time. I think it's just, it's just buzzes again.
I quit.
No.
I like that a lot.
I haven't slept for more than 8 minutes in 3 weeks.
Since I adopted this, why did I come up with this idea?
I think just no is actually really
Yeah.
funny.
I like that too.
That's good.
It's clean.
Yeah.
It's really clean.
That's good.
Okay,
Okay.
we just call this the on-demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We wrote one. I really like Cameron and I exploring this idea about
That's not how.
about writing genres. About writing genres, though.
All right, so that's
Or-
one.
Or specifically, like RPG.
Yeah, RPG
What kind of RPG type are you doing?
The second one.
Just needed a name. What's her face?
I kind of like the idea of you two talking about all the genres and stuff, then just have like a third person there being like, oh, so like Greyhawk?
or realms.
Yeah, just the sort of reductive.
Yeah, it's like Forgotten Realms when everything has to fit in.
How does that work?
So how are we doing this one?
Yeah. Does it just open with the two of you?
I mean, the way I felt it, or the way I saw it, is like one of the ones that I've been writing recently, where it's like, hey, person B, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's kind of, but like, I mean, the pretext is a funny conversation, so it can just be, hello. We don't need to spend 30 seconds setting up a 30-second crap shot.
Right.
Well, I think you could just both be there. Like
Maybe we just have a
Working on
bunch
our
of,
You could just have D&D
and we have like
books too,
D&D
right?
books
Like
and like other source books.
That's
Maybe
sort of
like in Studio C around the table, you're both working on stuff because you got all the source
Oh, and
books
I'm
there
like,
and
hey
stuff.
Cam, can I bounce an idea off you or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. It's like, I'm thinking of...
As DMs often do.
Yes, I'm thinking of invoking, a cosmic horror sub-theme in my new dark fantasy campaign setting. But it would have to involve, some pretty strange science fiction concepts. Where it's like, what does cosmic horror look like to somebody in the Middle Ages? Hey, I just had an idea. There's a time 10 years from now. And somebody just like, heads explode. Wherein things might be different.
I think that we should start writing this by coming up with like actual genres and figuring out how we can make fun of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or
Well,
something
on
it's
to the
like-
wiki.
Or something about like, it's like I'm working on this cosmic horror, but it's like cosmic horror, but grounded in reality,
But grounded in reality
like
and
a
not
really
too
sort
scary.
of like a gritty, real life, but cosmic horror, but not like super scary. But I kind of like the idea of like sort of it starts out as like this very complex genre of something, and then you sort of backtrack on everything.
Well, I just like the idea, like the original cleanliness of our back and forth, where Cam's like, "Yeah, I'm working on some sort of like steampunk thing, but it's set in the '80s at the Roadhouse bar, so it's Swayze punk, right?
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing, like very
Just
like
ridiculous kind of things.
Ho-punk.
ho punk.
The idea of, just add punk to anything, and there you already have a genre right there.
What about a thrilling alternate reality? It's like set in a world very much like our own, but the accepted way of eating Cajun sandwiches is to dunk them is to immerse them in jus, so it's podunk.
Oh, can you mute my?
Wow! Oh,
Well, that was...
a long walk.
It's a real long walk.
Yeah,
I
I hope
don't
you got all
think-
your steps.
I'm not saying we should put that one in there. I wish I could see chat so I could see them yelling.
I mean,
Petition to rename...
We've had a few wows.
Yeah.
Petition to rename all Conan-based settings or ideas as dark fantasy,
Yeah,
which is
it's said
extremely male.
dark fantasy is great. It's like Why the Last Man, but opposite. It's a dark fantasy. Because like what I think where the funniness, the best funniness of this will lie is like taking sort of semi-identifiable genres and like doing like puns like that.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking god tier.
Yeah, well, Alex is really good at that, right? Like when we were doing the magic deck names, most of those were his.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like the 36. The original was the 36 Chambers of Gruel, which almost killed me. But we agreed it worked better as the 36 Chambers of Jeskai. But
I feel like the Wu-Tang are more Jeskai identified. Right?
well, I mean, it's the 36 Chambers of Wu-Tang. It's the
Yeah, but like I just feel like from like their personas and stuff, they'd be into
Oh, yeah.
like fucking like kung fu kicks and stuff, and not just like
yeah.
smash, smash, smash.
Jizz is totally blue aligned, but
Yeah.
the genius. Okay, so
I've had my beautiful dark twisted fantasy. Anyway, thank
Oh
you,
my
Rodent.
god, dark fantasy is so funny though.
high fantasy, low fantasy, dark fantasy, cyber fantasy, sci fantasy.
That's just where I put a lot of puns in, and all my players sigh
Yeah.
heavily.
Wait, sci fantasy CSI or SCI or PSI?
Oh, where everything runs on compressed air, it's sci fantasy.
Oh, that's real good.
Isn't that just Dark Sun? No, PSI, pounds per square inch. It's like
Yeah,
it's
sci-fi.
like steampunk.
But just air.
Yeah, but instead of steam, it's compressed air.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Air-
what were those
air-
toys?
air punk.
Does anyone else remember a short-lived brand of like action figures and toys that all basically looked like the sail barge from Return of the Jedi, but they had like a pump that you would put them on, and then they ran on wheels, and you just like, and they would fly.
No, but that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Damn.
Okay.
I remember Starcom, which was magnets everywhere.
Pneumatic
Yeah.
punk.
Oh, Starcom. Wow. Wasn't that the one that was actually like made in cooperation with the American Department of Defense?
I think it might have been, yes.
Yeah.
Which
that
one?
rules.
Starcom. It
So,
was real good.
Evil Bad Man. Peach has a suggestion. Warhammer 401k.
That's. Hey, I'm sitting on a box of 40K third edition demonettes that are going to be worth hundreds of dollars someday. Out of print. OOP Pro painted.
They're very. I
just-
just saw the thing the other day about how
what
Lego
is
is
that?
apparently a better
Yeah.
investment than real estate.
What's a story that would take place in the Warhammer 401k universe?
Well, the
in the
Emperor
grim
hasn't
dark.
died, so he's got a lot of investments to manage for his eventual retirement, right? Like, that's a very long-term view.
Yeah, how did he wind up as the Emperor of Mankind? Well, you see, he had
writing
Black
this.
Lotus in 1992.
Yeah, and a balanced portfolio.
The newest trend in investment, selling things to people who are trying to get out of Bitcoin. Ruining children's toys by telling people who are trying to get out of Bitcoin that they're a good investment.
Like, here's the deal. I know that people are like, hey, I read that Lego article, or I read a little bit of that Lego article, and my immediate thought was, yes, I can see how many Lego sets have appreciated dramatically in the past 30 years. Because 30 years ago, when you bought a Lego set, you did not buy it to keep it in the box or for any kind of collector's value.
Yeah.
You bought it to give to your child.
Yeah.
So the only in-box, like, complete Lego sets are due to weird accidents, like the kid never playing with it, or it getting lost, or just getting forgotten about.
Yeah, or
right?
being unsold in the back of like,
A toy store.
a Toys R Us.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Or like an independently owned toy store that just bought something in 1982 and they never sold it because it was too expensive and it's been gathering dust but is in otherwise mint condition. That's why 30-year-old toys are it can be extremely valuable. Nowadays, everybody's like, no, I'll keep this and I'll buy it, but I'll keep it in the box. And that has cratered the market, right?
That was the speculator boom for comics
Yeah.
in the 90s, where like the death of Superman was like a thing that was going to be this amazing event that,
Yeah.
you know, and
We'll
everyone's
print
like,
4 trillion copies of it.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
nobody will open it.
yeah. And then that way
Yeah.
it'll always be worth something until it was
It's
like,
the
no.
old like.
Yeah, it's the penny of the comic book industry.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, if we gave everybody gold bars, then everybody would be rich.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how it works, right?
But like, that's my thought about that whole like speculation.
The other thing that I saw in that whole Lego spec thing though was like that person was also checking like this was a set that came out last year and it sold for this much money for like $6, and then you go online and it's worth 15 or it's worth 24 or whatever.
That's too much work.
And they're like in like 1 year it was like it appreciated so much, way more than it should have actually appreciated.
But like, is it actually being sold for that much?
There's that
Because you
thing
see a
too.
lot of eBay listings and that nobody's nibbling.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, playing with magic cards, you know, there are cards that are nominally worth hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
But no dealer is going to buy it, right? Nobody wants to buy it for that amount of money.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, that's a novel thing that was available in limited quantities and that relatively few people have. It should be worth a lot of money. Do you want to buy it?
Yeah.
No.
Because economies
Yeah.
depend upon trade. And if
Yeah.
you cannot trade something, then it doesn't have that kind of value. It has a different kind of value.
Yeah, Nimrod 14. It only has X value if someone's willing to pay X for it.
Yep. All right, let's get back to this one.
Yeah. Okay. So, do we want to be like, hey, A, what are you working on? Well, B, I'm doing this.
How about this? How about we brainstorm a bunch of like pun things and we could reverse engineer what the descriptions of them are offline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Warhammer 401k is good. Dark Fantasy is good.
Or do you want high fantasy? Low
High.
fantasy?
High Fantasy and Low Fantasy. Because then that could be, oh, like a blah, blah, blah. No, that's more of a Low Fantasy setting.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So dark fantasy mean.
I like cyberpunk.
I do like the concept that like in genre in when you're talking about genres, the word punk at this point basically just means genre.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like the way that meme now means joke.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
It's really memey. What about meme punk?
Oh, meme punk.
I mean, how many punk?
You probably
It
need
just
about
means, yeah.
6 or 7 of these.
It's-
What about a punk?
Oh, no,
punk?
no. Okay, how about sword punk? That's just fantasy. No, it's subtly different in that it involves...
It's suddenly different in that everybody is listening to
It
the
has
slits.
fantasy albums, or like it has fantasy aspects to it.
No, yes, yeah, exactly. Like very testily explaining the idea of like the Wikipedia definition of fantasy
Twinkle
as sword
Bees,
punk.
a Viking themed fantasy, fjord and sorcery.
Fjord and board, which is actually I need to go and start a B&B outside of Uppsala called Fjord and Board now.
I feel like we should probably go more for like the silly names as opposed to like straight up pun names.
Yeah,
Because the problem with the pun names is that they're sort of the joke unto themselves as opposed to the joke of a bunch of silly names.
yeah, yeah, and letting people kind of like imagine what they are.
Yeah.
But I do like sword punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, sword punk I like.
These just notes. That's just fantasy. No, it has fantasy aspects.
Yeah. I thought that little exchange was actually really good.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
very solid.
Yeah. But I really like the sci fantasy. Like, well, I wrote something last year in sci fantasy. You could use sci fantasy, like, spaceships and like no, sci fantasy. It's like steampunk, but everything runs on compressed air.
That's good.
Space opera.
Space opera.
It's like space opera, only it's like heavily Wu-Tang influenced.
There's also
It's
there's also
opera.
there's also the like redefining.
That's Firefly.
It's Firefly.
The space opera. That's Firefly. Oh shit.
Yeah, I was looking for a
just Firefly.
non-cop. I was trying to make it a Firefly-inspired setting that wouldn't get me sued.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like redefine, like you basically, it's like, you come around to say like cyberpunk. It's like, wait, that's already a thing. No, this is like, this is with a PSI or this is with, SIGH.
Yeah, I feel like there could be some legs into me being like, yeah, I wanted to. I like doing the lighthearted settings, but I was hoping to bring a bit more grit into it. So I'm thinking some sort of medium exposure. Right. Like.
Give me all that again.
Well, like, because there's like light settings where it's like low stakes and everything's funny.
Yeah.
And then there's dark settings where everything is like grim dark and stuff like that. So what's the midpoint there?
Yeah.
So medium exposure. Yeah. Still light, but like I'm trying to figure out because grit is a
Grain.
grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neutral gray.
Less grit, more grain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
less grit, more grain. Medium exposure.
How gritty?
Yeah,
About
it's-
800.
It's like
Pretty smooth then.
It's like I'm looking for a sort of just kind of an underexposed light setting. Is really what I want.
Yes,
I
that's
want
that's
I
the
want
joke.
underexposed fantasy.
The very, 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 very fast aperture, right? Or no, what?
Like a day for night shoot. I want
Now we're
it's
thinking
like fantasy, but down 2 stops and with a blue filter.
Nice.
Jokes we get.
I mean, Graham was gonna read this and be like,
Day for night fantasy. Capture that.
What kind of rule set? Probably die 20. Fuck it, just use D&D.
yeah. We gotta be able to make some jokes about fate.
Die 100, die 20, die 6, D6.
What about?
I feel that these kinds of sketches work best when they're just like
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
the police squad style,
Yeah.
like just
Just shotgun it.
yeah, just
Fire
one
hose
joke
of
per
jokes.
second.
Yeah.
I feel like
beats.
there's probably a different crap shot about going into like different RPG systems that could be fun, but don't want to do that here probably. But
No.
or in this crap shot. But the idea of like coming up with different stupid RPG systems could be also fun.
Oh, we could definitely have Cameron and I come back again talking about like what systems we're going to be running these dumb campaigns in. That's even more down a very specific niche rabbit hole of hilarity.
Which D6 system are you using? I was thinking of West End Games. What about East End Games? What about East Side Story?
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Dark Fantasy is like a Conan setting, right?
Yeah.
I do like actually just going into by mistake going into like music genres. It's like somebody say like ska punk. It's like wait no that's actually just a music.
EDM.
Yeah, that's just music.
Or IDM?
IDM, yeah. We should make that joke.
Yeah.
We specifically should make that joke.
It's like IDM is like electronic music, but it's cerebral.
Yeah, you can't really dance to it, but we're too smart to dance anyhow. I hate that genre term. I hate it so much.
yeah, no, yeah.
You can get into the sea, but unfortunately it's quite entrenched.
Yep.
It just makes my skin crawl every time I have to explain it because it was
It's-
literally invented by white male gatekeepers.
Well, it's the music genre equivalent of saying you're a sapiosexual,
Oh my god. It
where you just want to like chew off your own tongue and choke on it.
I want to like Aphex Twin without feeling like a piece of shit.
Anywho.
I got like very quickly derailed by that conversation.
Sorry.
It's okay. Not like it was, but it's just like I need to know what you're talking about, and I'm unable to keep up.
We were bitching about something very unrelated.
That's fine.
Let's see. I love the idea of some sort of like dance. Some sort of like genres. There's like Children in Peril is a genre.
Really?
Children in Peril is a genre.
Sort of like a genre of storytelling, like
Not a trope. Like literally, there's enough of it going on.
Yeah, I would say like Tales from the Loop is Children in Peril. Camp Nettleby was designed as Children in Peril.
okay.
Right? Like then there's this implicit understanding when you're doing that kind of thing, like the kids aren't actually in all that much peril.
Right.
But
something
they,
could happen that's really
but
bad.
they're just going to have an adventure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and it's like children in peril adventures is stuff like the Goonies, where like suddenly adult supervision ceases to exist.
Right.
Right?
Because all those things like Monster Squad and everything was really hot during the 80s. Like what
Right.
happens when you give a
The
gang
golden age of children in peril.
Yeah, like
Yeah, Ragtag.
Home Alone.
Yeah.
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 Stand By Me. Just kind
Yeah,
of
I
the
guess,
similar-
Yep.
out
Yeah.
doing their own thing.
I
Where the
think-
peril was presented by older kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not so much like like sometimes environmental, but like that kind of thing. But it's sort of like, interestingly enough, I think the rise of that genre as like sort of a popular storytelling vehicle can
Men, children in peril.
I do like the idea of just like
Ghostbusters.
it's like I'm working on this adventure. It's kind of in the like adventurers in peril genre of RPG that it's been getting really big lately. Where the idea being that you put your player characters in some kind of peril.
Yeah,
and
there's
then they get out of it.
there's a conflict and they have to resolve it. I like it.
That's real good, actually. It's a very generic way to get this rolling. I like that as an idea.
what about some sort of like what about like a high romance? What about like a medieval? What about some
Like
sort of
Tristan
medieval,
and Isolde.
Yeah, medieval high romance, historical friction. Historical friction was a suggestion from chat. But
Is that like the who's that band from like
Like a romance
2010
novel genre.
that was their big song was Young Adult Friction. They were actually decent. Lots of clever wordplay,
sounded
but they were a
very
very
familiar.
clever band.
Yeah.
They were very clever. They were from Brooklyn, or wanted to sound like it, and were too cool to
the
like
pains of being
Decemberists.
pure at heart, says
Right.
Frank and Fruity.
That's the one.
I remember them being very, very popular. Okay. This might be too much. But it's just like, what about just a campaign you fuss over forever? Ah, yes, Baroque. Lots of fiddly.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. I like it.
I would say literally everything I run is classified as definitely a Baroque campaign.
A fine line between Baroque and broke.
And my brain broke.
I feel like that's like a T-shirt that classical music nerds wear. Like, if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it, or something.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah, a
is.
picture of like Mozart going like "Dat Mass."
Okay. I mean, is this enough to work on? Because
We got a lot of ideas.
This feels like one of the ones that we're going to need to take in right
Oh,
afterwards.
for sure,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody else can think of any, like,
Yeah.
we've got historical friction.
Yeah. Historical friction. Hang on. I
Yeah.
gotta get that in there
I
too.
wanted to get historical friction in there.
And that's
And did we get men, children in peril?
no, but we should. Yeah. I'd never heard of Children in Peril before, so I didn't know if that was going to be if that was like, is it a common enough idea that if we say that people will get it and will get the secondary, like the link to it. They will, if you say, oh yeah, Children in Peril, because I was kind of like, that's really a thing. That's classified as a genre of like adventure, and so I was thinking that maybe it's not common enough that everyone would just pick up on it like that. Like, would we have to explain it before actually extending it?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I think not everyone's going to get every reference in
that's
this.
fair.
Yeah.
I think
that's kind of the
writers
point
are
of
going to
the
love
events.
this.
Oh sure. Historical friction is what was the definition for that again?
Oh, just
It's
Real
like
life
historical
romance.
fiction, but slightly grittier.
No.
Come on, I'm funny.
Shapes.
that's really good.
Please, please laugh.
Sand gets everywhere.
Ugh.
But everyone ends up fucking on a beach.
Slightly abraded from all the fucking on a beach. Good. There's so much going on there.
Yeah, let's.
Wait, I have
Yes,
a
please.
deep thought I want to share. So
Yeah, yeah.
I would say the golden age of children in peril was probably the 80s.
Sure.
And with camp movies and Goonies and Stand By Me. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the 80s is when people stopped letting their kids do whatever the fuck they want and run around outside unsupervised. Because popular media was like, look at all the danger your child gets up to, and It and stuff like that.
Because I'm just thinking of my experience growing up that I was definitely go.
Yeah.
Get out of the fucking house.
I mean, I was able to do that in the 90s,
yeah.
right? Like,
I think kids are allowed to do it a lot still.
Yeah.
It just
But
depends where you live.
Oh, but the warnings you're saying is that there was more
Yeah.
and more stuff going all these things happening to.
Yeah, statistically, the world's safer than it's ever been before.
It's like, I mean,
Yeah,
you could also qualify the people who came of age, who are now writing Hollywood, whatever, and talking about that stuff. Is that they were imagining what they were going through when they were young. That you could go out and do that kind of thing, and that was happening, not in the same way anymore.
Yeah, to me, the genre is actually shows quite an optimistic idea that kids will be fine, basically no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's what Stranger Things really taps into, is that the idea that, hey, wouldn't it have been cool if we went out and did adventures instead of just mixing together gasoline and Tide and pouring it on rocks?
Why?
Make napalm.
Oh,
You never did that?
I never did that.
No.
Maybe I just had extremely dangerous friends.
I had friends who were like, I can teach you how to make thermite, and I'm like, go at it. I'm like, well, someday. And it never happened.
Everybody had a friend who knew how to make thermite.
Yeah.
I had a friend who made pipe bombs.
No, I never got any thermite.
I guess I didn't grow up in northern BC, so
Yeah,
Southeastern
being
Alberta,
unsupervised
like-
sucks.
Yeah.
Going outside is a really good way to just well, I mean, maybe growing up in northern BC was different because going outside was an inherently dangerous thing for 6 months of the year,
That's
Sure.
true.
right?
Yeah.
And involved getting suited up only slightly, to a slight less degree than going into space.
Yeah.
And I think the major difference there is no catheter, which would have been handy now that I think about it, because that was something you need to plan 10 minutes in advance. But
I hated bib overalls. To this day, I still hate bib
yeah,
overalls.
the
Well, you're an
snowsuits
adult
are.
and you don't have to wear them anymore.
I know, right? Yeah, but I hated snowsuits that.
you also live in Victoria.
That's true. But anytime you had a snowsuit that was it zipped up to halfway up your chest, and you had to really finagle your way into it, and your pant legs would come up and shit. I hated all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when I went skiing, when I was finally doing a lot of skiing with my parents, I'm like, I want pants overalls.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want
Well, I
bib
mean,
overalls. I want snow pants.
Growing up in the north, right? You would, in order to go to school, in order for that 10-minute walk to school, you would need to have long johns and a sweater and then a parka and gloves and snow
scarf.
pants, and then you would all have to hang it up because it would be drenched in sweat by the time you
Yep.
got to school.
Yep.
Just
It got
sodden,
wetter on the inside than the outside.
right?
I-
Because it wasn't that cold.
I grew up here.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have ever worn a snowsuit.
I mean,
Oh, they're awful.
I've worn a snowsuit because I went to go play in the snow, not because I had to go in the snow.
The 2 days there was snow.
Yeah, or go up to Mount
I-
Washington or whatever.
I remember my brother, who also was born and lived and grew up here. He went to university in Ontario. And the first year he was there, he was saying it's parts of my body that are cold that I didn't know could get cold. Stuff like my eyeballs and the inside of my mouth.
Yeah. If you've ever had the experience of blinking too slowly and
Yeah.
having the top eyelid freeze to the lower one,
Yeah.
that's choice. But I remember as a kid, there were two experiences of going outside to play in the snow. One of which was throwing yourself into a snowbank and it being very hard, and being very grateful for that, quarter inch of padding,
Yeah.
of cotton batting offered by your snowsuit. And the other half was it being soft pack and just going in capsized.
Yeah.
And being I can't move my elbows or my knees.
Yeah. And you can only do that in familiar snowbanks too, because you never know what's underneath. Because you come across one that is that is like great because it's like, oh, it looks like fresh powder, right? And you go to throw yourself into that big thing of fresh powder, and it's only about like an inch of fresh powder.
Yeah.
And everything underneath it was the previous pack that has since frozen over and become an ice brick.
Yeah.
And you throw yourself into this thing thinking it's going to be so great, and you just
Yep. Or you discover the millefeuille layer cake of of snow, like layer of snow, layer of ice cigarette butts and dog turds, layer of snow, layer of gravel cigarette butts and dog turds, right? Just layered on top of each other until the melt, and then everything smells like eggplant au fromage for about 6 weeks.
As Destiny Child said, you got to stick to the snowdrifts you're used to.
Yeah.
All right. The third
leaving.
one. What was the other seed that we?
KonMari.
Oh, right.
Right.
KonMari.
Timely.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
How about the
Hoarders for suburbanites.
I
guess
What about Mon
I'm pretty sure
Calamari?
that Hoarders was
KonMari.
Hoarders for suburban.
Oh, yeah,
What about the Mon is Mon Calamari, right?
Yeah.
Calamari? What about that method? What's that?
Yeah, the
method
Mon
look like?
Calamari method?
Yeah.
Well, that's when you rise up against your galactic imperial overlords, forming the backbone of or the spiritual and military backbone of the rebellion.
Yeah, but should
They
I
get remembered for
but-
wandering into traps.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then have your entire existence reduced to an irritating internet meme.
Yeah.
Cool. Should I keep these socks?
Yeah,
They're
we don't
done.
Know,
Done. We're out.
we don't know what Admiral Akbar's
Well, I mean,
what
you
his
can-
like quarters looked like. Maybe he was a real slob.
Well, you can look at the bridge of Home 1, right? Or the bridge of what was Admiral Radiss's flagship
Nope.
in Rogue One, and they're very clean. They're very white. They're very science fiction.
Yeah.
Right? Like their uniforms.
Yeah. They're exactly what you want out of like.
Mary Kondo Damacy.
Isn't that the opposite, or is that where you just throw everything into a pile and roll it out the door?
Yeah.
And like,
You just tape everything together that you want to just. Whoop.
yeah,
And then
it's
if it doesn't give you joy, you throw it out the door.
or you roll it out the door and you're like, well, what happens to it afterwards? It'll probably come back in about 6 weeks and roll you into it. Right, but then we'll go on an adventure.
I feel like if we don't actually have a Katamari to roll out the door, it will be tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. I do like this idea. God, that was so very clean. I'm just trying to think of how to structure the joke where it's like, oh, this is that Mon Calamari method cleaning up. Like,
What's the
all right,
calamari
do
method?
tell me.
Well, it's where you radically misinterpret somebody's own personal preferences as a directive to get rid of all of your books. Julie told me somebody's best comment on it was like, see, this is why people who define themselves as book lovers as their only personality trait are irritating.
Here's the deal. Nobody ever said that. Marie Kondo has never said you should never have more than 30 books.
Yeah,
She says she has 30 books.
Yeah.
yeah.
Correct.
I mean, and if you want to get like fucking hipster about cleaning your house, you have the what's his face method. Now I can't remember what his did all like the
Just the
pretty prints.
the concept
William
of
Morris.
William
Have
Morris.
nothing
yeah.
in your house that you do not find useful or bring you joy or something like that. Or
Yeah.
useful or beautiful.
Yeah,
Same
have,
method.
have nothing in yourself. I like that. Have nothing in your house that you don't know to be useful or believe to be beautiful.
Yeah.
That's basically it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
The idea of calling William Morris a hipster is pretty funny.
Well, no, people who use the Morris method, because I've subscribed to that for years. Just turns out I think many things are beautiful, which is why my house is full of things,
Yeah,
but all lovingly arranged.
What about the Death Star method? Well, that's where you get rid of anything that, as it turns out, many of those Mon Calamari Star Cruisers did not spark joy.
It's like, what if the thing is like, okay, I'm trying to clean my house and I'm trying the KonMari method because it's a meme right now, but it turns out I'm a depressed misanthrope and nothing sparks joy.
Well, try the Mon Calamari method.
Yeah, what's that, right?
Yeah.
Let him write.
So I've been cleaning my house for weeks and keep trying different methods.
We basically know nothing about the Mon Calamari, do we?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
we know all we know about them is that they have a bunch of ships. and
I think there's stuff in the
I mean-
EU about them, but
yeah,
that doesn't
like,
count
I-
anymore.
but it doesn't
though.
count. Well, yeah, but
I remember getting the West End Games Star Wars source book out of the library a lot when I was a little kid and reading up about the Mon Calamari and how they were a people of artists and scholars and space voyagers, and then the Empire was like, no, we're bad guys, rawr, and so they converted all their starliners into warships.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's why they look like that.
yeah, that's why they're all different.
Yeah.
They're all individual works of art,
Right.
and then they get blown up by the Death Star.
Oh.
But I never put together that the B-wing is a Mon Calamari starfighter, and that's
Oh.
why it's also kind of like it has lots of bulbs
Right,
and
it's-
things
well-
compared to like the X-wings and the Y-wings.
Because
It's
the
much more practical.
the
looking.
A-wing and the X-wing are very symmetrical. The B-wing always struck me as this asymmetrical
Yeah,
thing that was just kind of like, why would you design anything to look that way? Unless you were going for the aesthetic of like Ikebana kind of thing, where it's like, what's more important is that you have a couple of main design elements that stick out, as opposed
So-
to.
we could actually come up with what the Mon Calamari method is here, where it's like, well, it's very clean and minimalist. Lots of like open space, high-necked naval uniforms, display screens optimized for people without binocular vision. Because their eyes are on the side of their head, right? So a lot of wraparound screens. That's actually canonical, is that humans find Mon Calamari interfaces very difficult to use.
Yeah. It would be really,
Because
really annoying.
you have to turn your head a lot.
Yeah, it would be really annoying. You like sit in the chair and there's nothing in front of
Front
you.
of you,
Just
so-
two screens
yeah.
on either side.
makes for great visibility at your starship, though.
I got
Yeah.
tired of the
Lots of
KonMari
it.
method because I got give up on the KonMari because I got tired of people having people yell at me on Twitter. Like that's the thing. Like everybody's like
3 steps beyond, right? That's the.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with
Every-
anything, but.
everybody's real mad at it. It's like she didn't tell you you had to throw out all of your things. It's just like, do you want this? Does it spark joy is like the translation, but like does it make you happy? Do you want to keep it in your life? If not, then get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I've been cleaning my house for weeks and keep trying different methods. I gave up on the KonMari method because I got tired of having people yell at me on Twitter. What was the other method?
The Mon Calamari method.
No, the other like real one that we could
Oh,
maybe. So
the-
the Mon Calamari could be the third hit
Yeah.
there.
William
Oh, Morris.
Morris.
Yeah, like that's less a cleaning method. Like I
Just
feel
like
like
more of a
like,
lifestyle
What
aesthetic.
about the Sherlock Holmes method?
What's that?
I'm trying to think of like what are the
Commander
other
Data described it
other
in one
like
episode.
real like trends in organization.
The Hoarder's method, where you get rid of just one thing. Just one. This children's bicycle helmet that was on sale. What if there are grandchildren?
I think they've tried them all, right? So they know William Morris,
Yeah.
right? Like I think that could be part of the first
Yeah,
sentence.
I actually don't think we need to go into that William Morris diversion.
Okay.
I think
Well,
it's-
you just sort of mentioned it as like I've
Yeah,
tried
I've tried
this
the
and I've
KonMari
tried
method.
this, so
And-
I've settled on the
Can
Mon
I-
Calamari.
Can I actually request that we might want to just go back to the to my original pitch for this joke because I think it's a little cleaner and
Yeah.
explains it. It's like I've tried the KonMari. I gave up on the KonMari method because I'm a depressed misanthrope and nothing sparks joy.
Good.
I actually really like
Yeah,
that.
I think that's rather than the Twitter thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just think that's too many layers removed.
Yep.
It's also
Does this spark joy? I
Also,
don't know.
it's like the reason why she has a show is that she's incredibly popular and successful. So the idea that people wouldn't use it
yeah.
because it's not popular is weird.
Yeah.
I tried the KonMari method, but now I no longer am able to really reference it since I had to mute those words.
It's like,
So
what
what's-
about I like it's like what about the Mon Calamari method?
Yeah.
What's that? And then Cam's
Yeah.
thing.
As a second
Good.
line, or as the KonMari Damacy method, just because it sort of sounds similar, I think could work. Which is just putting all your stuff in a big pile and then rolling it out the door.
Yeah, hoping it doesn't come back.
And
I
turn,
mean,
it,
effectively,
rolling
that is
all your
the-
stuff into
turn to
a
a star
into a ball, and then
and
eventually
then throw it into the sun.
yeah, and then throwing it into the sun, and launching it into space.
Yeah, and then launch. I like putting all your stuff together in a ball and then launching it into space.
I mean, that's I mean, other than the space thing, that's essentially what the KonMari method is. Like,
Don't put it all into a ball.
I don't know. I've seen people just chuck things into a big heap on the ground with that show.
With the Mon Calamari method, you only get to keep one chair, and it's one of those egg chairs from the 1960s, only it's mounted to the ceiling.
I feel like at some point we have to say that everybody, and unlike the KonMari method, everybody will just, like, I feel like we got to have some reference to how the Mon Calamari end up, which is mostly blown up. Right?
So
What if it's just
Some
like,
sort of
what was
trap?
the original thing we came up with for explaining what this was, which was like,
Rebelling against a thing and converting all of your, like, bespoke starliners into warships only to have most of your fleet destroyed and your heroic actions remembered for a memeified internet joke.
Of your greatest war hero actually being slightly ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
oh,
To be
it's
fair-
a trap guy. Oh.
To be fair, the Mon Calamari don't have a huge problem with clutter these days.
Oh, that's a comeback?
Yeah.
Well,
or
that
as
sounds
an
like-
audio stinger.
Yeah.
Well, I, was
I like that. That's
sounds
really
like
good,
it sucks,
Paul.
but to be fair, the Mon Calamari, no problems with clutter these days.
Yep.
Rebel against the establishment
That's
converting
really more of the
belongings into
Death Star
weapons.
method, isn't it?
Get remembered for falling into traps.
Oh, hold on.
There's more to this that
Yeah.
you
That we keep glossing over. 'Cause
well they keep everyone keeps talking a lot.
Sorry, okay, yeah.
So-
So what's the
Yeah.
Mon Calamari method?
Yeah.
Oh, it's when you start off with very idealistic dreams of being cosmopolitan, artistic, and scholarly, but then you're forced by
Hold on, slow down.
Yeah, idealistic dreams about being artistic and scholarly.
artistic, cosmopolitan, and scholarly.
Adjectives are always better in
Yeah.
threes. That's a rule. Well, not really, but
And scholarly, but
But find yourself oppressed by imperialistic overlords.
yeah, imperialistic overlords.
And are forced to militarize your, or are forced to militarize your society top to bottom.
Okay.
Then, and then your greatest war hero gets memeified for recognizing that, or gets memeified as a for saving many, many lives.
oh,
Gets memeified for pointedly not falling into a trap.
Ah, yes.
actually, can we say and the legacy of your greatest war hero is reduced to a meme?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It gets reduced to a meme. Period.
Yep.
Or- okay.
I think the greatest takeaway from the Battle of Endor is that a Mon Calamari starcruiser can turn on a dime, whereas an Imperial class or an Imperial super star destroyer loses steering when it gets hit by a fly on the windscreen.
You start from the
Right.
Right?
And
Like they
it-
could have saved the Executor if they had invested in windshield wipers.
Yeah.
Basically, like an A-wing should not be able to do that kind of damage, really, guys. Honestly.
read that back speech.
Okay, I've been cleaning my house for weeks and keep trying different methods. I gave up on the KonMari method because I'm a depressed. We'll fix that. I'll give up on the KonMari method because I'm a depressed misanthrope and nothing sparks joy. What about the Mon Calamari method? Never heard of it. Well, you start off with idealistic dreams of being artistic, cosmopolitan, and scholarly, but find yourself oppressed by imperialistic overlords and are forced to militarize your society top to bottom. And then your greatest war hero gets memeified for pointedly not falling. Oh, not that.
Gets memeified for pointedly not falling into a trap.
Yeah, for pointedly not falling into traps.
And so, can you say
Me,
the
what do I-
can you say the legacy of your greatest war hero?
Oh yeah, that's good. And then the legacy.
Could the reply be,
of-
yeah, I actually did try that, but I have binocular vision and their screen setup just did not work for my workspace.
And that's the fucking honk.
That's
That's
It
beautiful.
keeps it nice and simple.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's so.
Oh wait, I did try that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I love that aesthetic, but the workspace setup did not work for my binocular vision.
I actually just say I did try that, but their workspace setup did not, or wasn't compatible.
Wasn't really compatible with my binocular vision. Christ, oh. This is so dumb.
It's pretty good. I like that a lot.
It sparks joy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. I love it. I love it. But it's really dumb. But
Okay.
that's fine. That's fine.
It's very short.
Yeah.
It's
I'm trying to think of.
How about-
yeah. I was just
Huh?
gonna say.
how about sounds familiar? Refresh my memory.
Or just
Sounds familiar. Or maybe just
I
refresh my memory.
Yeah, refresh my memory. Oh, I did try that.
Yeah. It wasn't compatible with my binocular vision. Nice. Nice.
That's so stupid.
That's
I
That
love
or
it.
the
I
the
love it.
humidity made my books curl.
No, I really like the binocular vision joke.
Okay.
It's like, because it requires a level of buy-in, but once you get it, you're like, holy shit. Right?
Also, for people without depth perception, they were remarkably adept spacefarers.
I'd like to think I would be too.
But I mean, like, birds can fly around, and they don't have, like, some birds have
Oh, yeah,
binocular vision,
Yeah.
but not all of them.
Horses
Oh,
and
wasn't there a
walking the
Twitter-
trees in video games.
Wasn't there a Twitter account that was birds with eyes in the front? It was just really upsetting.
I mean,
Well, I
it's
mean,
not. It's,
some birds have eyes in the front. Owls,
Owls.
and some hawks, I think. Or is it just owls?
I mean, I guess in the Star Wars universe, it's
Platoons?
weird, but I feel like for most of the
Platoons.
time when you're traveling in outer space, you aren't like literally looking out the window to see where things are.
correct.
Yeah.
Although, if you apparently in the Star Wars universe, they do that a lot.
I mean, again, we come back to the executor.
Yeah.
Turns out a big window is a weak point.
All right.
I think that works better. Like, I've been cleaning my house for weeks. I'm getting nowhere. I gave up on the KonMari method, or I had to give up. I think is better. I had to give up on the KonMari method.
Right,
because
yeah.
I'm a depressed misanthrope, but nothing sparks joy. It's because you realize you like forcing yourself to realize.
Yeah.
And what about the Mon-Calamari method? Refresh my memory. You start with idealistic dreams about being artistic, cosmopolitan, and scholarly, but find yourself oppressed by imperialistic overlords and forced to militarize your society top to bottom, and then the legacy of your greatest war hero gets memified for pointedly not falling into traps. Oh, I did try that, but their workspace said it wasn't compatible with my binocular vision.
That's very. I love it.
Was that was the original audio stinger, wasn't there? Wasn't that?
No,
Yes.
no.
Well,
I don't think it needs it.
I
I
don't
don't
think it does either, but
no.
About the,
I think we're good.
the audio stinger could be, what about the Katamari method?
roll your shit into the sun.
I think you could just leave it at what about the Katamari method?
oh yeah, that's good. Okay, P1 stinger.
I always wind up with more than I started with.
Or just be like, yeah, but I have no way to launch my shit into space.
Rocket fuel is very expensive.
Yeah.
How's chat reacting to this?
They like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say that's actually canonical, that humans have a hard time using Mon Calamari setups.
I mean, it would make sense.
And whales don't have. People are like, all predator birds have binocular vision because they hunt, but whales don't have binocular vision and they hunt. Some whales, killer
Sperm
whales, killer whales definitely hunt.
Yeah.
They got
I mean,
eyes on the side of their head. I feel like that's how you've evolved. Your brain's got to work around for it.
Yeah. The birds that have eyes on the front are the predator birds, though. Like
I mean,
your eagles and hawks and stuff are all
Yeah.
have eyes on the front.
I legitimately do not have like depth perception because I don't have binocular vision. Both my eyes work, but they work independently, which is a weird thing to say. But and yet I can drive a car.
yeah.
Because can't fly a plane, but I can drive a car because you learn how to
Yeah,
do all
how-
those things, shadows and relative sizing and
Well, just the
parallax.
fact- yeah, and the fact that you aren't operating in a vacuum. right? Like there are other things that reference,
So,
or that you can use as points of reference.
I just want to write a science
now the
fiction
Mount
book.
calamari are, however, operating in a vacuum.
Ha! It's like my mother driving. She was driving on the highway once and told me the story about being like, "Huh, there's a dog on the road ahead." Actually, I think that might be a horse. Moose! Just because, like, you're driving and
It's
it's
a-
like
how is-
winter and, there's everything is covered in snow and there's no points of reference.
Yeah.
This is like, wait, that's 15 feet tall. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I was driving in northern BC. I think I've told this story before. And I was like, oh, wow, there's a dog up on that hill. And I realized how far away. I'm like, that's a wolf. Because it's probably 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
That's not a dog out in the middle of the wilderness. Because I was like, oh, what's a dog doing out here? That's enormous.
You see that video of the coyote? Okay, I'm gonna just say it. The coyotes fighting in the middle of Edmonton streets.
No.
There's like 4 or 5 of them running around, and there's 2 of them just like, "Ah, ah, ah, ah," and there's the other ones chasing other guys back and forth across the. And this is in the middle of like a residential area,
Right.
And it's kind of like, huh. And the thought is they were fighting over scrap hamburgers or chicken nuggets.
Wow.
Nuggies. Nuggies, the source of all discord.
And it was being filmed by somebody who was clearly in a vehicle.
Right.
Because they were creeping closer and closer to them the entire time. And I'm like, oh, you don't do that unless you have steel and glass between you. Like,
Like, yeah. Just like somebody whipped a bag of McDonald's out of out of their window on Wayne Gretzky Way.
yes.
Or Wayne Gretzky Boulevard?
Wayne Gretzky Drive.
Drive.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we also have a Marc Messier. I keep saying we. I don't live there anymore.
You haven't lived there for years.
That's true.
It's a nice enough city.
I do. I'd like to visit maybe again one time.
So I just got this email that is talking about the readers of Loading Ready Run. So I thought maybe I would put this to the chat. So to let you know how this. So this person has sent me this email, Nikki, and says, "Hey Paul, I was poking around your site, Loading Ready Run, and I thought your readers might find this infographic I created about credit card pros and cons interesting and informative."
We are all about that.
I don't know.
aren't
What do
we?
you guys think? He's reaching out on behalf of DebtReviews.com, a completely unbiased debt information site that is dedicated to helping anyone in any sort of debt they get the help that they need. And they've attached the infographic to this email, which, to be fair, is not like an offensive infographic in the sense that it's just like, what are the pros and cons of owning a credit card? And then it's got like a couple things on both sides.
Okay.
And in conclusion, if used responsibly, having a credit card can be a great asset. Like, that's it. Like, it doesn't seem to be actually advertising any particular credit card.
Definitely not sponsored
It's
by MBNA.
just the concept of credit cards.
I get similar emails sometimes. The latest one was definitely one of the weirder ones. I've just been ignoring it and like trashing them every time they come in because they'll follow up if you don't
Yeah, yeah.
respond. And if you say take me off your mailing list, it's worse, right? Because then they know they got a live one. Cheese fondue recipes.
There's a fondue place up in Sydney.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's a Swiss fondue place.
Ooh.
Oh, let's go eat so much cheese we'd wish we'd gone to a fondue.
I just
Yeah.
I just like these ones that are like not only doing it like a solicitation that you should put this up, but are attempting to like ingratiate themselves with you by saying that they have like
perused your website.
They've read your website and believe that this would be appropriate for it.
I've noticed you use WordPress.
Yes, I've noticed that you have words.
now
We
it's
have
fondue.
words also that you might be good.
Right?
Oh, Christ.
Maybe you and Julie and Graham and I could go for fondue.
Maybe.
You want to go for fondue beach?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not a fan of Kolsch.
It's also just like
Kirsch.
Kirsch,
it's also
whatever
just
fuck
the
it
idea
is.
that
Kolsch is
like
beer.
Thank you.
I'm also not a fan of Kolsch.
any website that would just take an unsolicited, like somebody unsolicitedly
Yeah.
sells
Like,
them
yeah.
or sends them an infographic about a credit card, like pros and cons, and puts it on their website. Like clearly they don't have any kind of respect or like community at all.
We-
if they're willing to do, if they're gonna do that. like clearly they have no they have like
putting one on
no
every
kind
page,
of
just to keep them
editorial
separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
oversight on their thing. If they're just like, yeah, sure, random person, I'll put up this
We'll have to
infographic that has
massage
nothing to
that.
do with my content.
Yeah, like who does this
Yeah,
target?
we did 3. We need to.
I wouldn't want to put up an
obviously
infographic on any
finish that
website
one.
that would take our infographic.
Which we should
That's
definitely.
only 216.
That's fine.
We could.
Do we have an idea for a 4th one? Because I don't want to sit here for 30 minutes and not
No, but like.
get something out.
Does anybody have any random seeds? Outdoor stuff, gardening. Watering plants.
Is there anything physical we could do?
Yeah, because it's not supposed to rain tomorrow. So I'm not saying let's do lots of outdoorsy crap shots, but like we could do some.
Just do a lot of shots of people falling downstairs.
Somebody did send through a Mori Lingue.
Okay.
Sent through a little seed idea here.
Oh yeah.
I kind of had James's P1 and Kathleen's. I don't know if you see this in the chat, but anyway, I'll just read it out here. Person 1, what are you doing? Person 2 is all sweaty, saying, I've been practicing for time trivia contest. Aren't you already great at trivia? Yeah, but I freeze under pressure. That's why I saw that 24 Steps to Mental Fastness book on your desk. Look, I finished it and I think I'm ready. Try me. Okay, what's the capital of Madagascar? Botswana. That's not even a city. My answers have gotten faster, just not more accurate. I do like the idea of trivia, like going for speed on trivia as opposed to actual like
Whether you're correct, like Family Feud.
correctness. Yeah.
It's an outside.
What about like taking up running or something? Because it's January, it's the new year, a fitness regime of some
The
sort.
old New Year's resolutions.
The old
Yeah,
making good.
I mean,
I think we've done that before.
we've done
but
that
this-
before, and we're also
Yeah.
a little further into January where it's just like,
Oh yeah.
What if it was somebody who was, because we might not,
Right,
we
new
might not
month
print this one
resolutions.
till February.
I mean,
Oh,
well, I
well-
mean, like we're 3 weeks in. We could be at the wake for our New Year resolutions. You're just like giving a speech at a funeral home surrounded by white lilies, just eating handful after handful of Doritos.
Just you're like talking about, the death of your best intentions.
Yeah.
that's a sketch that exists.
Oh,
I have watched that sketch somewhere.
probably 20 years ago.
Um,
I'm doing my best here, Turk.
Something about refactoring your resolutions to actually,
What about
What
just?
about what about resolution creep?
yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
I feel like that's got to go up in like October then.
Hmm.
Because creep implies it's coming forward.
Well, it's the idea of scope creep, where it's like you plan a project, but scope creep always means that you keep adding more and more stuff to your project until it's unwieldy and you can't actually do it.
Like the best joke I remember about scope creep was God checking in with one of the angels on the microbes that ate sulfur at the bottom of the ocean, and one of the angels going like, "Oh yeah, they're doing great. They went to the moon the other year." It's like, wait, what? Are they still eating sulfur? No. Right? Like,
It's good.
I do feel like the idea of showing a thing being done, because we have
An active.
yeah, because the on-demand one is definitely active. It's
Yeah.
it's built around pure physicality and does not. You could probably watch it. You could probably watch it completely mute, and it would still mostly make sense. At least the part where it's like that. And I'm like, are there any other ones that are just like, in doing a thing, that is there something that we can do where the comedy comes across?
Rather than like chatty chat.
Yeah.
Like,
This is a real stretch now, right? Because we do a lot of talky ones because we're very good at writing like
did
dialogue
we
for
ever
comedy.
script out the medieval improv one? It's like, all right, I need a setting. I need a setting. I need a setting. I need a setting.
Yeah.
The village.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, we did write that.
That's in
Right.
our ready to
It's-
shoot pile.
it's in the
Maybe it
Trello.
could be ready to shoot tomorrow.
We just need a dozen
No, probably not.
costumes.
Yeah, that one was that. The trick with that one was like, it's
We need a
crap
lot
if
of
we
people.
don't do it without good costumes.
Yeah.
What about some sort of like outdoor yoga meditation thing where you're like
Okay.
doing a thing, trying to get in touch with like
Two
whatever
people
the
down by
fuck
the
you
water.
do with yoga.
What if it's like 2 people in snowsuits doing outdoor yoga?
Well, there's no snow.
Exactly. So maybe it's like 2 people in
It's
like
hot
rain
yoga.
slickers or something.
In outdoor hot yoga.
Yeah, wet yoga.
Moist yoga.
Is there a moist yoga? Like, is there like, do people go down into the sea and sit and do yoga under the water and then drown?
I mean,
I don't think
there's,
so.
There's aqua aerobics.
That's
a
true.
different thing, though. Humid yoga.
keep
I
touching
think
my mic.
humid yoga is hot yoga. At least by the end of the.
I do like the idea of damp yoga though.
Yeah. Moist yoga.
You have to be able to show it being done, though.
Yeah.
None of us can do yoga though.
Yeah, doing yoga's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you crib a lot of the stances from the Wii Fit yoga poses thing, and that would kind of-
It's not it's not figuring out what the stances are. It's being able to do them.
Yeah. It's like
There are-
downward
there
facing
are-
dog's harder than you think it is.
There are a lot of very
Yeah, like
simple
the
ones
warrior
that we could
pose.
do.
Yeah,
This is a
yeah.
very
There
simple
are
one to do.
there are things that read as yoga that aren't actually difficult to do.
Speed yoga.
for the busy commuter. Oh, I like this. Okay, so speed yoga is
Yoga that you can do like in your car.
Jesus.
Someone just like trying to fit their like leg over their head while driving.
Yeah. You do triangle pose while driving and shear your arm off on a stop sign.
You see that Netflix or that stupid Netflix Bird Box challenge is
let's
now
see.
all prank videos are banned from YouTube because somebody got into a car accident while trying to drive
I mean, it's.
while blindfolded.
I mean, I think it's just like dangerous things in general.
Oh, and you no longer can put up videos where you torment children.
Oh, come on!
Specifically, I think it was that you cannot put up videos where children are attempting these very dangerous
No,
stunts.
but you can't do things where you fuck with where you fuck with a kid's innate trust in their parents. Not that you should be doing that anyhow, but like Santa's died.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when you film your kids crying hysterically because Christmas is canceled, and they're like, "Lol, just kidding," and they're like,
Isn't that like a Jimmy
That's
Kimmel bit?
a literal Jimmy Kimmel
Yeah.
bit.
Also,
This is-
I've never understood that as an idea because I'm kind of like, you're just gaslighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
"Yeah,
And
I
I'm
would
like, that's
never
not
do that."
actually funny. That's just, lol, you believed me
It's
and
just
I
lying
told you
to
a
kids,
joke.
yeah.
I'm like,
Believe
no.
me, the person that you have that you are like biologically predisposed to have like
Yeah.
pure trust for because like I'm supposed to keep you safe.
The
Yeah,
kind, the
lol,
kind-
you believed me, the person who houses and feeds you, and you have no power in this relationship
See,
whatsoever.
the alternate side to that is I love the Calvin and Hobbes ones where Calvin talks to his dad about realities of the universe, and his dad just gives him really good, consistent bullshit.
Oh, but like
And
how
then,
they
like-
figure out how tall of a truck can go under a bridge is they just
Yeah, or
drive
how
taller.
big the sun is.
Yeah. It's like, no, you just hold up a quarter and you can see it's just about that size. And it's like every one of those things relates, and I'm like, that I like because there's just going up to a kid and say, Santa's dead. It's like, that's not even creative. That's
No,
just
yeah.
anybody can think of that. I'm like, no, if you're gonna fuck with your kids, be really creative about it.
I think there's a Calvin and Hobbes thing where like all photos are color photos, but the world was black and white
Yes.
back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
And then he had to like extend that argument.
Yeah, that paintings, right, turn color.
Yeah. As
because they were color paintings of a
Yeah.
black and white world.
God, yeah, the idea of like, no, when the world came into color, then all the paintings came in too because they were all using inks. But why didn't the photos do that? Because the photos were like
The photos were photos of a black and white world.
exactly, but the paintings they all used colors at the time. They just all showed up black and white. It's like, ah! Yeah.
I don't think speed yoga has anything.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Although somebody in chat said, "Ooh, the splits are brutal."
Yeah. Also, I would not be surprised if speed yoga is actually a thing.
Oh, shoot.
There's
True,
so
true.
many different types of yoga.
I figure if I just leave wet yoga up on screen long enough, we'll get so many extra viewers that If you're a
Yeah,
fan of
that's
wet
how-
yoga, try our Patreon.
That's how this works. Be sure to pledge at $10 to get our thank you card.
Yeah.
No wet yoga.
We'll send you
involved.
pictures of wet yoga.
No wet
Yogurt yoga. I mean the
Wet
goat,
yogurt.
I mean goat yoga is a real thing.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just yoga, but there's also a goat there.
Why not call it
It
yoga?
just climbs on you at various
It
times.
used to be called yogoat.
That doesn't tell me what anything is though.
I still wish we
Yogoat?
could do yurt.
That just sounds like
Oh
you
yeah,
spelled
the
yogurt
yogurt that is
wrong.
yours.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That somebody made those. That's
Yeah,
what
I'm
sucks.
so mad.
Yeah.
That like I came up with the dumbest idea I could imagine.
And then
The
someone
yurt,
sold it.
the yurt that is yours. And then there was a Kickstarter
Stop
that
imagining
funded.
things. They might come
that
true.
funded. I could have been rich.
I doubt anybody got rich off that one.
I could have.
Made some money.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah,
have
I
taken
feel-
strangers' money.
Yeah.
I feel like the number of people who
I
get
could have
rich off
engaged in
yurts in
commerce.
general is probably
Probably
pretty
low.
Yeah.
I
What
could have
about-
gotten sued by the Mongolian government, I guess. I don't know.
What about like somebody fishing?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fishing.
Well, like the Snoopy fishing for compliments.
No, like actually like on a dock
Okay.
with a rod.
A dry dock? No.
Okay.
Okay. They're
Well, we do
fishing
have
for
that
real.
fishing rod, don't
Yeah.
we? Yeah.
I think we have a fishing rod somewhere. And like we got like life preservers and all sorts of like outdoorsy props that we never use because we hate being outside.
So I know that the joke about fishing without a line has been made because it's like I don't want to be disturbed out of my nap
By actually catching a fish.
by actually catching a fish. So maybe not that.
No, I think the person could be like legitimately fishing, but what are they fishing for?
Credit card numbers.
Personal information. Jesus, I feel like that's been made as a joke, but yeah.
But just the idea that that sort of combines like a bunch of stuff
First
together,
person
being just like this is because there's so much garbage being dumped in this lake.
Did
and you
anyone-
can just pick up like people's credit card
Did anyone,
receipts.
did anyone see the booth, the NSA recruiting booth at, it was like an electronics show or
Okay.
a security show, and they had a free charging station for your phone.
Oh no!
And it was just like A+ trolling from like
Wow.
actual,
That's so good.
Wow.
they're just like, trust us, it's fine.
They're scanning your badge to, obviously to
Yeah.
get your name. Are you interested in applying? Okay, I'll scan your badge. Do you want to charge your phone? Be like, check that guy off. We're not hiring him.
It's like, well, sure, why not? You already have everything on it.
There was a ruling in the U.S. that, a recent ruling, it hasn't gone before the Supreme Court, so it was like a district court, that you cannot be compelled to provide biometric information to unlock any devices.
No. Good.
Really?
Yeah, because originally that was like, oh, you can't use somebody's fingerprint, like for Touch ID or whatnot, but you can use their face. If you aim their phone at their face and it unlocks, then you can use that because that is not testimony. And they've now ruled it's like, no, you cannot be compelled into giving up information about yourself. That includes being able to unlock your phone.
How it seems like it's just from a practical standpoint difficult to prevent somebody from pointing the phone at you.
Yeah.
I mean,
But anything discovered in that method is essentially inadmissible by law, right? Like,
yeah, they
Right.
can say it's like, you know, you
I guess
you
from a
can't you can't get evidence that way. The same way that like the police can't just kick down your door and rummage through your shit
Right.
without a
So
warrant.
it's more of a legal protection as opposed to a practical protection.
Exactly.
It's like sure they can do that, but
Yeah.
anything they get that way is not usable.
I mean, at that point, there's no point. Like, I guess you don't even really need to have your phone locked at all, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I
other
mean-
than keeping people from stealing it. But
Yeah, I mean, like fundamentally, like we're getting into some pretty basic stuff. Like, you know, there's nothing preventing the Air Force from dropping a bomb on your house either, other than legal protections.
It's fishing at a dock or harbor or beachside?
Yeah, wherever is
Beachside is
practical.
not. There's enough places that you could do docks or harbor. Beachside does not look.
The location is not.
Doesn't look good. Okay. What are they fishing for?
What are any of us fishing for? I was gonna be like, do we make this a Werner Herzog documentary?
It's like, well, I was fishing for jokes, but I keep pulling up 10,000 dead lawyers.
Ew.
That was one of my favorites when, I'm sure somebody else had come up with it too, but I'd come up with the idea. It was like, what do you call 10,000 lawyers in the bottom of the sea? Like, a tragedy. They were human and had lives. And
Yeah, they had families.
And holy shit, you're a
Yeah,
monster.
they probably went to law school, trying to hoping to, uphold a sense of justice and fairness in the world.
Mm-hmm. Is there a non-joke here?
Start.
Yeah.
What are you fishing for? Fish.
Oh Christ! What if it is a non-joke? What if the whole thing is it's somebody comes up and is trying to like get something out of them that's like trying to play up the thing and it's like fish. Oh, but like no, fish. I'm hungry and I want to eat. Oh, but no, like trying to like lead through this whole thing. Like there's a gag here. There's a punchline. It's just like no, just fish. And then like you should try it. It's very relaxing. And then they try doing it too, and they're like, oh.
And they pull up a fish album.
They're like, yeah. Oh God. Oh God! And then the person who's originally fishing is like,
What the fuck?
was like, that's not funny.
Now you've ruined it.
Yeah.
They've fallen for a phishing scam.
Okay.
Crapshoot.
Chat,
relies on us-
Kathleen, yes. Kathleen, no.
It relies
You
on
would
us
have to
going
use
to
the
the,
only-
to the record store and buying a Fish album, though. Do we really want to do that?
Oh, we can print off the only Fish album that anyone recognizes the cover of. I don't even know what it's called, but it's the one with the guy's face.
There's so many fish
There's
albums.
a lot
I'm
of
sure
Fish
we
albums.
can find one.
Well, yeah, I mean, they inherited all of the Grateful Dead's fans.
There's also, of course, there's also Real Big Fish. Which presumably would be even better, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a big fish.
I caught a real big fish. All right, let's work on that a bit.
I do kind of like, as maybe even as a stinger, just be like, I caught a real big fish. I hate you so much.
Well,
Hey.
I feel
Fishing,
like
huh?
we got something.
Yeah.
No more after this. When we're done this one, we're done. But I do kind of like, is it too dumb to just, yeah, you should try it. It's honestly just relaxing. And then it's like, oh, I got something. I pull up a fish album. It's like, what is wrong with you? I am offended. You're making fun of me.
Yeah.
Besmirching the ways of my ancestors.
Look, if you're not going to take this seriously.
Seriously.
Stop turning everything
really
into a
good.
side gig.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I do like if you're not going to take this seriously. And just like a over-the-shoulder shot of like the two of them, right? Like the camera's behind the two people, and you can just see them hauling up the line, and then just like this sopping fish album comes out, and they hold it, and then reverse shot is like, look, if you're not going to take this seriously. Getting a reverse shot involves putting in my head, putting the camera on the water, so maybe that's not quite feasible. Maybe off one end of a
Yeah,
dock.
you can cheat it or something.
Yeah,
Or from another dock, or there's ways of doing it. Go to the other side of the lake and shoot with the long lens.
we'll just do we'll do it as wild lines. It's fine.
Yeah. We're going to be 200 feet away for the shot.
So you're
Lady
gonna have to really
Art.
speak up.
That's great. Old sketch comedy group called Old English did a great video about when, I don't know if they actually went into place, but New York was putting into place a ban on filming. Or not a ban, but like you needed a ridiculously large amount of insurance to do any filming. And so it was causing problems for people who, they were in New York and doing like, just, run and gun filming on the street and stuff. And so they're saying like, this is what to do. They had this whole song about like, this is what to do if the law does pass. And I've talked about like dressing your tripod up like a guy, like having like a coat and stuff.
Nice.
Like, or shoot from New Jersey with a zoom lens.
Nice.
I,
Can
in
you
the
mute my mic again, Paul? Actually, just going to go check on
the commentary for Pi talks a lot about how they had to follow a Woody Allen production around when they were filming outdoors, and then the cops would just assume that they were a B unit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Yeah, they were like, okay, make sure they don't see us. But yeah, we're just picking up some, some B-roll.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, permitting in, especially in like, California and like Hollywood, and, areas where there's a lot of filming, and New York and stuff where there's a lot of filming going on, is apparently insane. It's the whole, I think Graham's talked about that, but putting the tripod in the back of a flatbed truck. That's where that comes from. Because if you're not technically putting the tripod on the ground, it doesn't require the same permitting as it does if you put it on the ground. So they put it on. So they would put their tripod in a flatbed truck.
I like it. So we need maybe a couple of fishing like puns or jokes.
What you fishing for? Credit card numbers?
Revealing personal information.
Catfish.
A date.
A date? Compliments? Pulling up a lot of tin cans and rubber boots? Just fish.
What about the foot of a lawyer who was killed in a terrible thing?
Oh Jesus!
10,000 lawyers? You find a lot of 10,000 lawyers down there?
What about the corpse of a lawyer? Right? Because it's always like, sinking. It's just like, no, just fish. Like every time. I love that.
Yeah.
Pair of threes. I like that.
Compliments. What was the other one again? Fishing compliments.
Identifying personal information.
I think just personal information. One more. Compliments, personal information.
No, just fish. Whatever's out there. 10,000 lawyers. You gonna fish up a lawyer? No, just fish. You should try it. It's very relaxing.
Did you say dead lawyer?
You're gonna fish up a dead lawyer? Yeah, that's real good. Like he's trying real hard. 10,000 lawyers? You're gonna fish up a dead lawyer?
No, just fish. You should try it. It's very relaxing.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh, reels it in.
Look, if you're not going to take this seriously.
I think that's real good.
Yeah,
So
that's super
clean.
good.
It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
clean. Good job, team.
Yeah.
And we do have a fishing rod.
I love
Just
the
double
I
check
love
that.
the implication of like
All right, we can delete all this.
in order
Sorry, wet
in order
yoga.
to make that work, how far in advance the other person must have been like working out what this gag was going to be with the fish album.
I mean, shit. Like in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, you can catch bottles out of the, and it's like, no, you can't. You can't catch a bottle in real life.
No.
A big fucking jar comes out, like whenever somebody's waiting for you to find something, right? And I'm like, this is unrealistic. How would I do this? I can find a book on the ground or a pouch in a tree, but how do I catch a bottle out of the ocean?
Okay.
Animal
you're
Crossing
complaining-
Pocket Camp. You have ruined my suspension
Yes!
of disbelief.
That's the unrealistic part.
Yes.
Not the talking animals.
That I pack full of snacks,
Yeah.
and they love me for it.
Does the beaver man still eat
All
the
the
children
fish?
from Splatoon?
Well, they don't. That event's not happening anymore. But
Oh,
yes.
good.
Do you
Okay,
know Penelope loves Chip? She's just like, he's so hungry.
It's a good read on the character, I guess.
Yeah, I really.
Penelope asked me to play Mummy Game, and I was like, no, sweetie, because we have a thing where we play it in the morning, but we don't play when I come home from work because that's too much screen time. And she's like, no, I want to play real life Mummy Game. So we had a lovely time where I pretended to be Broccolo the mouse, and I was skating in a skating rink. And then she had to go find things.
All right, you can leverage that. You can turn that into, like, you know what I need, and then name one of her toys she leaves lying around, so she goes and finds it, and then you can like put it into the
Oh,
box.
she had just cleaned her room.
Oh,
Or,
that's
well,
good.
Kelly had just cleaned her room.
My favorite recollection from when Julie was playing a lot of it was when you first start off your camp and it sucks.
Yeah.
And all of the animals visiting were just like lined up to turn the floor lamp on and off.
Yeah.
You want to see my amazing
Click.
skating rink? It's great.
Look,
Click.
the neighborhood in Animal Crossing is not like super exciting. Turning the lamp on and off is like that's the thing that people
Yeah, it's
do.
we're going on vacation to turn the lamp on and off.
They like to open
Nobody's
the
using my
3DS
skating
and then
rink.
close the 3DS,
There's like a
which is
snowboard
weird.
half pipe.
All right.
This is good.
We did it. We got 4 crap shots.
those modern furniture.
One obviously needs to be tidied up a little bit, and we will do that when we go offline. And then we will be shooting these 4 tomorrow during our filming session. So, sick.
Yay!
I'm very happy.
Cool.
I'm excited
Good
that we
job,
got 4.
team.
That was great. Wait.
We're so bad at that. Okay, once more. Aim for the elbow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
You look at the elbow.
Yeah.
You look at Beach's face.
End up hitting each other in the elbow.
Yeah.
Can I go first as we're summing things up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Patreon, it is halfway through the month. It is more than halfway through the month. If you have already raised yourself to the $10 level,
Which a lot of you have.
which a lot of you have, and thank you, we will be getting that list together soon to do the mail out for everyone who's at the $10 and above level in Patreon. And thank you to everybody who's kicking in the $14,000 we're making a month right now. That's really generous
wow.
of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
That goes a long way to keeping the lights on
Patreon
here.
is higher than it has ever been. So
Yeah.
thank
With the
you so
exception
much.
of when we did the wall.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't really count.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But update your mailing
That's
addresses and update your billing information and make sure all that stuff's copacetic.
Yeah,
and
we
then
want to send you a thing. Don't make us pay to send it to ourselves in a very roundabout manner.
exactly, and then store news. No new things on the store other than the stuff you've already been seeing. But we've added a new feature where we are
You
out
may
of-
have heard of it.
Yeah. We literally just
called
wrote a
Beige
crap
on
shot on it.
Demand.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you if we are out of something, a size or something that you've been waiting on, we now have now in stock notifications. So you can go to the site and you can enter your email address, and the site will email you when that thing comes back into stock. Because we are always, it's part of my job is to make sure that stuff gets back into stock. So if you can please put an email in there for something that you're waiting on, then you will know when those things come back into stock, and that's hopefully helpful to you. Cool.
We
All
won't
right.
tell your email address or anything. It's just to tell you it's
Yeah,
back.
just to tell you it's back.
And if you're in San Antonio, go to PAX South.
You still can. There are tickets available.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's
we're
the
there.
chill packs.
Ben, Serge, and Graham are there right now.
Yeah.
And Jacob.
And
Who's
Jacob.
not really like
Yeah.
part of our group,
He's
but
not
if you
working.
like,
Not working the booth, but he's around.
I really enjoy PAX South.
Yeah,
So-
Max South is great. All right, so that's going to do it for the Crapshoot today. Thank you everybody for hanging out. That was a lot of fun. Coming up later tonight on the stream, we've got Friday Night Paper Fight, Canadian Highlander this evening. Cameron,
Yo.
Alex, Nelson, and Ben Wheeler are going to be playing Canadian Highlander this evening.
Watch me get crushed.
Watch Cam get
or
crushed.
not. You're a good brewer.
You're going to get crushed. It's fine.
I'm getting crushed. It's fine. It's fine.
fine.
It's
It's
my
fine.
fault.
All part of the game.
Yeah. Tomorrow, Adam is in here playing. I believe he's going to try to finish up the Messenger tomorrow. I think he's pretty close to the end, so you can look forward to that tomorrow morning. Sunday, we've got Rhythm Cafe,
Space Channel 5.
Yeah,
Space Channel 5 Part 2. Ian's going to be in playing that. I don't know if he's going to be joined. Heather's out.
Is
Heather's
that still on Dreamcast?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it might be Xbox, original Xbox. I'm not sure.
so yeah. I'm not sure if somebody's coming in with him or not, or if he's just
I think
running
it's
it
just
solo.
solo Ian.
Might be just be solo Ian, so that's cool. And then we're into the new week. Checkpoint is Checkpoint happening? Is Chill Point happening or
Well,
Checkpoint?
Paul and I are going to do something. Maybe actually, Beige, do you want to sit in on Checkpoint?
Sounds great.
Okay, it'll be me and Beige.
All right, there you go. So Checkpoint's
Checkpoint.
happening on Monday. Monday evening. Dice Friends. Part 3. Part 3.
I can tell you guys that there's some there's some god tier box text in this episode.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
You also get to play, in addition to listening to me talk.
And then we get into Tuesday. We got 9 o'clock. We got New Day Tuesday. Haven't updated that yet, but I will. So you can look forward to all that next week. All right, let's welcome some subs and bits and stuff.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting us both on the Patreon and through subscriptions. And especially thank you to everybody who subscribed during the stream.
I'll start.
Starting with
Manfred909 has come back for the 32nd month. Thank you.
And hey, it's Tux Beige and Unarmed Oracle,
Hey,
who
thank
were
you.
both gifted by W. Livy. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Wait, that
Livy.
is thank you, right?
Hi, Ralt. For 2 months. Welcome back. Glad you came back.
We've got Telenvor, 10 months in a row. Welcome back. Thank you so much.
Tino Didrikson has come back for the 39th month. Wow.
Oh my goodness. And the Green Monster 450 has subscribed for 25 months. Thank you so much.
My grandma's Amazon Prime is making this possible for 11 months. Wow, I'm glad that she's that generous.
Nice. St. Jimothy with that brand new sub. Welcome to the channel.
Many thanks to the Hackofo for the 28 months of support. Much appreciated.
The Oven Bird has been here for 30 months. Wow.
Ogion the Silent is a brand new subscriber. Welcome.
Not so silent now.
Lucian, 0451, 6 months in a row. Welcome back.
And for the many bits, 51 bits, thank you, Earthen One.
Yay!
Hey,
Yay,
those are
much
51 bits.
appreciated.
We'll take
Yeah.
it.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Thanks, everybody. Come back in 3 hours, 15
hours?
minutes for Friday Night Paper Fight. In the meantime,
Bye.
go find something else to do. Croakle!
Croakle.
22 months. Welcome back. Okay, goodbye.
Woo!
Bye-bye.